Magic the Gathering is the trading card game largely responsible for initiating the trading card game frenzy that has since dominated the gaming scene. Although other games are still very popular, I think trading cards became the bread and butter of game shops rather quickly, thanks to Magic the Gathering. My experience with Magic was one of hesitation, as I was playing Pokemon initially and later Sailor Moon. I didn't really understand it and thought it was too much of uh, a too complicated game to really get into, but I finally sat down and reluctantly learned to play it. Magic's core is the mana. This is also Magic's biggest flaw. There can be really no deck that you could conceivably construct that would not require mana. Although I think there was at least one set that you could minimize your mana, and it was that artifact deal. Like all the artifacts for like cheap, and the cost involved became cheaper until everything just dropped in for free. I suppose it's conceivable given a large enough collection or enough money that you could build a manaless deck that would actually function. But this was pretty much my chief complaint with the game, and is still a chief complaint that I have against this game. Irregardless to my complaints, Magic is still one of the most favorite trading card games and the most widely played. As such, it's kind of an up and a downhill battle. It's an uphill battle if you're looking to just join in and have a fun time. You have to find the right sort of player that wants to play for fun and who's willing to build a deck that will bend towards a newbie's level versus players that just want to play competitively. There, it's an uphill battle. If you want to play this competitively, prepare to spend a lot of money and time researching the cards, the abilities, and what decks are the best. Magic is very dependent on the bulk of your collection. However, it could be conceivable that one could just purchase enough cards to build one deck. But most Magic players don't do this unless they're very competitivist. But even the true competitor will be, at its heart, a collector. Magic doesn't separate these two like some other card games can. It's just the nature of it that you're going to eventually collect cards, and you're going to want to trade away older cards in favor of better new cards as sets rotate out. Knowing when an old set will rotate out will allow you to sell and or trade away that set before it becomes unpopular. So, you might want to do that, like, I don't know, a couple months before that set rotates out, or even 5 months before it rotates out, or something like that. I'm not sure. But it's kind of a big problem with Magic, unlike other card games where, although you could mass amounts of collection, you don't really need to get into the game. And whereas Pokemon you could play at pretty much any level and have fun, Magic is a game, even if you're playing at a casual level, there's just something to it that lends itself to a more competitive gameplay format. I rarely play Magic at all. The deck I want to play would be Mill, and that deck's extremely hard and expensive to do. Second to that, the deck that I'd want to do would be maybe a poison deck, and I do have a deck that sort of does that, but it's probably not the best that it could be. So I really don't play this often, and it's just one of those trading card games I just can't get into as much as other ones I've played. So those are my thoughts on Magic the Gathering.